Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alrighty, so you may have noticed that I'm wearing the exact same thing as I was in my last video, and that's because I am filming 2 videos in one day. I'm being a little ambitious, if not 3, we'll see. I'm being a little ambitious, and I just want to get this content out for you guys as I feel like I've been slacking a little bit. So jumping into today's video, and this is honestly something that I think a lot of the girlies out there need, and it is about boot stretching. So I saw this one video that was done by Jackie Aina, and she does this like TikTok series where she's like trying to find like the perfect boot or a boot that could fit around her calf, and she ended up getting this like boot stretcher. And so guess who got the same boot stretcher? Exactly, and we're about to try it out and see if it's, you know, given what the girls was saying it was given. So if you guys watched my last video where I went over all of the purchases I did last year, 2023, I talked a little bit about my boots from Givenchy, and like ever since I started going to the gym and like started doing like, you know, like the leg workouts and everything, they're not fitting the same. So I definitely got this I definitely got this boot stretcher to see if I could stretch these boots and make them fit like how they used to. So let's get into today's video. Alrighty, so the boot stretcher I got was the same one that Jackie Aina got, and it was the one off of Amazon, and it's called the Foot Fitter. And honestly, when I received this in the mail, I didn't know what to expect, but this is like it's like substantially heavy, you know, but it comes with quality because I think it is like a professional tool, but we're not professionals and we're about to use it. So let's get into it. So yeah, you already see professional's choice. We're about to be professionals today. So when you first open it up, you see the boot stretcher, and honestly, it looks really intimidating, like at first glance, like when I first unboxed it. Super intimidating, but let's get into how it works. So for the purpose of this video, I already stretched one boot, and it took me about 2 weeks to gradually stretch it to where I thought it was like a substantial amount of stretching. Again, in the instructions, it does say like 6 to 8 hours, I believe, but I wanted to be on the safer side and I did not want to be sorry. So I was taking my very long time, and I also did forget about them a little bit. So, you know, the longer the better, I feel. And so they did get 2 weeks of stretching, and the other boot I have yet to start, but we will start in this video. So just to kind of explain how this works, it has 2 points where the threaded turn style, I guess, I don't know, I'm making these words up as I go, but how this threaded like turner thing, it interacts with the bottom part of the stretcher, and then you can lift it up to then interact with the top part of the stretcher. So you can stretch the bottom part of the boot as well as the top part of the boot, and I thought this one was specifically super cool for that reason. So how it works is, if I keep it down, it'll stretch the bottom part of the boot. As you can see, that's really OD. And then if you lift it up, if you can kind of see how it goes up now, and you start turning it, it'll start to stretch. Oh shit, I was still turning the bottom one. It'll start to stretch the top part of the boot. This is hard to do while like holding it up. But as you can see, this has stretched a substantial amount, and honestly, I didn't even stretch it to the furthest amount yet. So yeah, this is heavy duty and it'll do the job. So now getting into the boot itself, as you can see, like it does have wrinkling, which I hate, and I will be creating a video on how to get rid of this wrinkling here very soon. But the first step is to get the boot stretched. So the first step that I did on the other boot was I took the hardware out because I feel like this could form as like a blocker, and I don't think I would be able to get as much stretch as I would without the hardware. And also another thing, I did not want to risk snapping or breaking this hardware, because again, like this is like the original hardware. So that was the first step that I did. I took the hardware off and I made sure that this was off before I started stretching. Okay, now taking the boot stretcher, I didn't really like put this all the way back skinny because this could still fit in the boot perfectly fine. I take this side here and I have it pointed towards the front of the boot, and I let it sit down in it as it would like my leg. So just for you guys to see, I put the boot stretcher in, and this is what it looks like while it's sitting inside. Now, one thing that I did do while I was stretching the other boot is I made sure that I was sitting like on the edge of the boot. because like I don't want to like just stretch this part. I also want to stretch like the opening as well. So the first thing you do is you make sure that it's engaged with the bottom part, and you start twisting to make sure the bottom part is getting larger. So the instructions say, honestly, I don't really know what the instructions say. I skimmed that, but how I did it was I put it in, I made sure that it was tight. Like I turned it until it was tight. And then I did like 1.5 or 2 full turns after it was like tight, or until I couldn't turn anymore. And I did the same as I did for the bottom to the top to make sure that there's an even stretch. So now I have it completely stretched inside of the boot, and you can actually feel like in the boot that the bottom part is stretched as well, and the top is also stretched. So that's literally how I stretched the boot. Now again, I did it slowly, where every day I would try to turn it a little bit more, turn it a little bit more, up until I feel like it has a substantial enough stretch to where my foot sits in it like how it used to, or at least to where the front doesn't wrinkle anymore. Now the boot stretcher to me, I think is on the pricier side, but it is way cheaper than having to buy another shark lock boot, which I'm not about to do. But there are other alternatives, like selling the pair that you currently have for the larger or the wide calf. But like I said in my other video, I don't think I would be able to get the whole $3K that I spent on these boots for that. And honestly, it's really that simple. You just put the boot stretcher in, you leave it for a couple days, and now it fits your calf. But what I will say though is I feel like boot stretchers, they kind of sell you a dream a little bit. Like I feel like if your boot is not fitting at all, I don't think that this, maybe it could. Don't, you know, like I don't want to like knock it before you try it, but I feel like this is not gonna make it fit 3, 4, 5, 6 sizes up. Like I feel like this is something that is maybe tight, and it can help loosen it to make it like sit better or like look slightly better. Again, it's all about mixing the lifestyles, right? We could all be gym girlies and fashion girlies at the same time. Like it's just a little bit of extra work to make sure things fit right and look nice. Overall, I do want to show you guys what my stretch boot looks like versus the one now that I just started to stretch. So again, I only started stretching these just today for like 5 minutes, sitting here talking to you guys. But the other one I was stretching for about a week or 2 weeks now. So I'll show you the difference or the comparison between a 2-week stretch versus a no stretch. So let's get into it. Alrighty, well I really do hope this video was super helpful. A lot of these boots, I feel like it's not us. I feel like these boots are just getting smaller, and it's harder for like a gym girly or a thicker girly to like get a boot that they can wear, especially like a designer boot that they can wear and have it look like how it's supposed to. And so I definitely do think that this boot stretcher, even though it is on the pricier side, I do think it is a quality item and super good to have, especially if you are a big boot wearer. And so yeah, I really hope that you guys found this video super helpful. Let me know down in the comments if y'all are also facing the same issue that I'm facing with boots. And also let me know if you guys end up buying the boot stretcher and how it goes. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye guys.